welcome to my YouTube channel. It is your girl Naomi, your one and only. Thank you so much for joining me on this special occasion. Today I wanted to talk about something very important and very dear to me. It is a long-awaited video that I wanted to upload. Remember, this is just a journey that my personal experience and my journey that I've gone through with COVID-19. So as you can see by the title of this video, I will be talking about my COVID-19 symptoms, my experience, and also what I did to recover. And also trigger. If you are someone that is sensitive or you get very uncomfortable listening to any kind of information or topics about COVID-19, I would suggest this is not for you. So that is my trigger warning. Don't come for me in the comment section. Also, please take note that what I will be sharing with you is my own personal experience, what I have endured. Everybody else might have the symptoms different. So we all learn from each other. And more importantly, also take note that if you do experience any severe symptoms, there will be a link at the bottom of this video which will give you information and also advice on what to do should you experience any of the symptoms that I might have experienced, or there could be hundreds of other symptoms that we don't know of. But always go on to the COVID-19 link at the bottom of each and every video where they discuss about COVID information will be there. So as I do continue into my video, or if I do get to the important part that I wanted to share with you, please, if you are new to this channel, I would really love for you to go and subscribe to my channel, and also do give this video a big like, and also comment if you might have gone through it, any experience or anything different when you had COVID-19. But also do make sure that you follow the community guidelines, and let's respect each other in the comment section. So firstly, what I experienced when I had COVID-19, and at this time I did not know I had COVID, and this all happened last year, July. We just returned to work in June, so July, I think end of June, I woke up to excruciating headache, and my eyeballs was paining completely. I had fatigue. I can't remember ever having a fever, but I just remember feeling my body feeling numb, my body feeling terrible. And the headache that I experienced, I've never ever experienced a headache like that. And also my eyes that was paining, my eyeballs was paining excruciating. I think after 3 or 4 days, I started to have, I wouldn't say it's a runny nose, but it always felt like my nose had some stuff in it. It was runny, but not runny, but it always felt like there was something in my nose, and I always had toilet paper with me to make sure that I dry up my nose, and it used to burn inside of my nose. I never knew what this was. It was all new to me. So as I was experiencing that symptoms, that was the first 2 weeks or a week and a half that I experienced all of these things. The headache, I think the headache lasted for 3 days, and the pain in my eyes, the fatigue continued on maybe for like 3 weeks or so, or I think it could be longer if I'm not mistaken. The fatigue was something else, I must say. So the time that my nose was always leaking, I think on the 4th or 5th day, I lost my sense of smell. And I remember I bought a plate of meat. I love meat. So I bought a plate of meat with like it had wors, or as you call it, sausage in, beef brisket or something, and chicken. I did not have appetite at all. I could not eat that food, and for some odd reason, I had to let that food go because I couldn't smell anything. That was the weirdest feeling ever. So also my taste buds was gone completely. I decided to call the COVID-19 hotline, and I asked them if this is one of your symptoms. She said, this lady said to me, she does not know, because I think at that time the loss of smell and loss of taste wasn't something so big at the time that you would know that you had COVID. But now, like, anytime you do experience it, that I've noticed, it is when you do have COVID. If you can't smell, if you don't have a taste, the chances are that you do have COVID and you will test positive for COVID. So when that happened, I immediately decided to go into my doctor the next day. I told the doctor what I was experiencing. She immediately sent me to the hospital to get a COVID test. I think I did the swab in the mouth, if I'm not mistaken. Till today I'm trying to figure out which one did I do. Did I do the nose or the mouth? I can't remember. But yes, so I remember going to the hospital. There was a long queue, a long line waiting to get tested. There was a lot of people at that time. I did a test finally, went home, told my boss, I did a test. I went in. I didn't feel good. I went in to get a COVID test. My doctor referred me to the hospital. And my doctor in the meantime prescribed for me vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, and I think a 3-day antibiotic. And I honestly wanted to wait for the results first before I do start taking. But I think I took the vitamin C and the vitamin D for the nose issue. And after one day passed by, I finally got my results. It showed COVID positive. And I kind of expected it and I kind of didn't expect it. But I immediately sent that result to my colleagues and everyone, and to everyone that I've been in contact with. Everyone went to get tested. Everyone was negative. Good news. I immediately isolated from my kids, my husband, and luckily I had somebody to help me with the children at the time that was living with us. So thank goodness I had somebody. It was a very difficult time not being able to run around with my kids at the time because I was alone in the bedroom. And I think at midnight my life started to change. I just couldn't sleep anymore. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't close my eyes. I just thought that if I close my eyes, I might never wake up again. And I don't know if this is something that everybody experiences when they find out they have COVID-19. Like you just can't sleep. You have so much fear and anxiety and everything is going through your mind that you just can't, you won't. And I remember, I think it was a week that passed where I just couldn't fall asleep. And if you don't sleep, you feel it in your body. Your muscles start to feel weird. Everything starts to feel weird in your body because I did not give myself time to rest or to sleep. I deprived myself of having a good night's sleep. And I'm telling you, really, I struggled to sleep. After a week of isolation, I the fact that I couldn't sleep, it became so bad that I ended up getting anxiety because I had all this weird thoughts in my mind. Like, I can't even explain it, but I think most people that have gone through this, they know exactly what I'm talking about. I started to have problems eating or swallowing. I felt like something was stuck in my throat. I felt like my food just didn't want to go out. I couldn't go to the toilet anymore. Like, you know, everything started taking a toll on my body and my mind because I was just thinking the worst ever. And I'm telling you, if I knew now, if I knew the things I know now, then it could have been a different story. It could have been a totally different story. But I remember after 2 weeks, after 2 weeks, I could not breathe. My chest started to get tight and I just couldn't breathe at all. And I told my husband, he needs to take me to the hospital because I couldn't breathe. And my husband is like adamant that try and do steaming, try and do breathing exercises. I'm telling you, I would stand there and I could feel that nothing is happening, nothing is working. Like I could feel like I just can't breathe, like I needed something to make me breathe. Otherwise I was gonna collapse there or something is gonna happen to me. And I didn't know that this was all in my mind. But anyways, I'll get there. My husband eventually took me to the hospital. They checked my oxygen levels. They said it's fine. But still, I told them I couldn't breathe. I struggled to breathe. I couldn't even talk. If I talk, then I'm out of breath. That's how bad it was. I went into the emergency room and as I was laying there, they put some oxygen on me to get air and to breathe properly. I think I was there for like an hour or so because they did x-rays on me. They did a couple of blood tests on me, and I remember my x-rays came back and the doctor finally came to see me, and he says to me, everything is fine, everything looks clear, your lungs look clear, there's nothing, you can go home. I'm going to give you some medication. And he asked me, are you sleeping? I said, no, I can't sleep. He gave me sleeping tablets, and I must say those sleeping tablets, they worked wonders for me. I went home, took the sleeping tablets. I think I took 2 or 3 days just because of, I don't know if you feel like that, you're even scared to take medication the doctor prescribed. I was scared to take any medication because I just thought, if I drink this pill now, I might not wake up. It took me 2 or 3 days to finally have the courage, because I said to myself, if I don't take this pill now, I will not get back to normal again. And I need to sleep. I need to rest my body. I need to rest my mind. And I eventually fell asleep. I think for 2 weeks on end, I slept fine. And I stopped taking the pill. I took the vitamins this doctor also prescribed to me. Now I had all these vitamins from my previous doctor and from the doctor at the hospital. I took all these medications. But I realized that it made me so bloated and so constipated. My stomach was literally standing up like a balloon. I remember also one day I ate something and I thought that I was choking. I thought that something was stuck in my throat and it just didn't want to come out. I felt like I'm really choking and it needs to come out. It didn't happen. It just didn't happen. And I remember going outside. My husband was at work. My kids was with my parents. And I called the doctor and I said, you know what? I feel like I'm choking. I can't breathe. What is wrong with me? And all that stuff. And the doctor said, please go immediately into emergency room and get a gastro specialist to assist you. After getting off the phone with the doctor, I decided to actually drink. I remember I drank 2 glasses of water, full glasses of water, and I drank that water so slow. After the second glass of water, it felt like nothing happened. I don't know, somehow it just calmed me down. It was cold water. It calmed me down. I was fine. Everything was fine. And I can tell you now, the experience having had COVID, it's not a nice experience. It's not a nice feeling, honestly. I would not even wish this on my worst enemy. But I'm telling you, I honestly feel that this is something that you can recover from. My own personal experience. Okay, because I know there's a lot of people that lost their lives to COVID. And unfortunately, fear plays a big part in you getting anxiety, because I remember when I could not breathe. That was my first anxiety attack that I had. Because why? I was just constantly thinking about all the wrong things that you can think about. And I think majority of people go through that because we don't have enough support, enough, how can I say, like we have so much fear on our minds, so much fear in our hearts, that it takes over every single part of our body and mind, that it actually affects your health drastically, that you end up becoming ill, or you can't breathe, or I've realized anxiety gives you muscle twitches and muscle spasms. You get gastro problems, because I ended up having gastro problems after all this, because of all the anxiety that I was having. I ended up having gastro problems. I had anxiety problems. And I'm telling you, I ended up going onto Facebook. There was a time I actually just stopped social network. I didn't want to hear anything about COVID. If I had anything about COVID or someone dying from COVID, I literally actually get anxiety. My heart would beat so fast. And when my heart started beating fast, I knew that is when I will have a serious breakdown with anxiety. And I just couldn't. People will send me messages about COVID. My people that are close to me would send me messages, and that really just break me. I was not myself. Honestly, I was not myself. I thought this is it. This is the end of it all. But I'm telling you, this Facebook group had a support group for COVID survivors, or for people that have COVID or just had COVID. That group really, 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 it made me feel like I was not alone that was going through this. And people would support each other, we would guide each other, and we would be each other's comforts, because we knew that there was someone on the other end that is going through the same experience, and that we could reach out to each other when we felt alone, when we felt afraid or scared for anything. So I ended up changing my diet. Changing my diet was the best thing ever. I stopped eating starch. I think I also cut out on red meat. I'm just slowly, I've been coming back on red meat again, and eating what I can. And I mean, it's like over a year now. I lost a lot of weight, but a lot of weight I lost was because I ate small portions of food, because I was so scared of eating big portions of food. I ended up choking myself again. So I ended up eating very little. I drank lots of water. I also meditated. I took long walks. I did some exercises. I started drinking green tea. I continued to take my vitamins. Like, these are the things that help me to recover from all that after effects of having COVID. Like, you basically, your body and everything just does not feel the way it used to. So now you have to try and kick yourself back to normal again. So you have to start from scratch basically, to make sure that you do take it one step at a time, and you gradually get there where you need to be. So it took a while. So yes, with all that said and done, I managed to get over it. I managed to recover. I managed to overcome. It took a couple of months to get back to myself. Sorry, let me just get this thingy up. I think that is fine. So yes, as I was saying, I managed to get over all of those things, and the support from the Facebook group was phenomenal. It was amazing. It is always important to get yourself a support group, to get people to talk to that is going through the same thing or the same experience. Make sure, I remember my father and my mother used to call me all the time. They used to video call me. They used to pray for me constantly. They used to root for me. They were my number one supporters. My husband, my kids, they were there for me every day. Because I isolated at home, and I don't know what I would have done if I isolated away from home. I don't know if I would have made it through all of this. Because every day I would take about 45 minutes to an hour outside of the house, sit in the yard, in the sun, had my mask on, and see my kids play around, being happy around me. So they did not understand what is going on, but it was for my own health and for my speedy recovery, and that really helped. I forgot to mention one symptom that I had. I think this symptom I got after a month. I started coughing a lot. Now, I coughed a lot, and the doctor did prescribe something to me. It was a very good cough mixture. And then also I made my own concoction for a cough mixture, and I must say that did wonders for me. I stopped coughing instantly the moment I started drinking this cough mixture the doctor prescribed, and also what some people suggested. But like they said, it's best to take the medication that is prescribed by a doctor or at hospital or at a clinic or wherever. Take the medication that is prescribed, because the medication or the self-made medications can aggravate a problem, make it worse, or it can give you other side effects. So sometimes it's not good to use those kind of medication. So I always stick by to what the doctor would give me. If I don't feel well, I'll go to the doctor, and the doctor will give me something. So yes, that is my symptoms, my experience, how I recovered. It is a long journey. For some that is very lucky, that is asymptomatic, that doesn't have any symptoms, but you do actually test positive for COVID, or you do have COVID. That is what I'm saying. For everyone, the symptoms is different for everyone, the experience is different for everyone, but it is important to seek medical attention if you do not feel well, because you would not want to put the lives of others at risk, and you would want to act fast also for your own health, to make sure that everything is fine. So I want to say thank you so much to each and everyone that actually watched the video until this end. It really means a lot to me, because I feel that a lot of people is clueless, a lot of people is lonely, a lot of people go through this alone. They suffer in silence and they have no one to talk to. They have nowhere to turn to. They feel like they just need to isolate and keep everyone out of their lives, or close or shut the doors and everybody. You don't have to go through this alone. There is a lot of support groups. There's a lot of people that go through the same thing. And the number one thing is, or the number one factor is not to fear. Do not be scared. Do not fear. Take the medications, drink lots of water, and eat healthy. That is something that also really helps. Eat lots of carrots, lots of vegetables, lots of greens. Drink those water. Drink those water. It flushes away all the dirty toxins in your body and it makes you feel fresh. If you can't sleep, you know what to do. You can try natural remedies, but I know most doctors wouldn't recommend natural remedies because it's not as efficient as the proper medication that you will get at the doctor's side. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I don't have much time. I never record this long videos, but I felt like I needed to get this over across to someone that is watching this video that might be going through the same thing. Just know that you can overcome this, you can recover, you can get better, you can get back to yourself. It might take time, but don't give up. Keep pushing, keep fighting, and be strong. Take care. I'm signing out. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so now. Like this video, share it, and also comment, and take care.